get sidetracked, but we left off. I just found a Zondar, just chilling out in the wastes, and picked him up, took him on a quest, finished out his stuff, and now he's my companion. So he's gonna run around the Apocrypha quest with me, which I have 5 more of these Zone Story quests here.
I trust your trip through the endless library was not too...
Wait a second.
I trust your trip through the endless library was not too unsettling. The winding paths of Apocrypha can prove troubling to those unfamiliar with its preternature. Cypher's Midden contains a wellspring of knowledge. Shall we begin our research? The ciphers of the Eye offer hospitality and refuge to mortals who arrive in Apocrypha, whether purposefully or by accident. However, I am reluctant to involve them in this endeavor. Fortunately, I have my own methods for conducting research. The contents of these stacks change from moment to moment, such as the nature of this realm's thirst for knowledge. I can prepare a spell scroll for each of us. As you search, it will dredge up anything related to the parameters I set for the spell. All research requires parameters. This spell should locate information pertaining to the Fulcrum Obscura, the Rite, and Torvasad's lost dream. Use the scroll's enchantment to aid your search. Then return here, and we shall compare notes. Scour the stacks, Proxy. The magicka I infused into your scroll shall assist you by retrieving any relevant tomes from their resting place. Meet me in my nearby study when you have completed your search. What
I
a
read that
curious
wrong.
query. Where else would I research and ponder the knowledge that the one who knows deigns to share? It is a humble refuge, nothing more. Now, we really must see what information we can draw from the stacks of Cypher's Midden.
This stack looks promising. An ancient tome describing lost memories
Over here.
barely remembered in a
See
dream.
that scroll?
Xandar likes it when I read
Too bad
books.
you only retrieved a few pages.
It's burning up! Quickly, grab whatever remains!
It's almost as though someone is eliminating these books the moment you find them. At least you recovered something. This stack might contain something important.
Another disturbance in the currents of fate, and what do I find? The Great Eye's mortal surrogate. Once again, the water of fate ripples with unnatural disturbances. As if some huge clod tossed a rock into a still pond. And what huge clod do I find at the center of these ripples? The Great Eye's mortal surrogate. As I explained on the mortal plane, I am tasked with aligning wrinkles in the annals of fate. How I accomplish that is totally up to me. But when something alters fate's prescribed path, it makes ripples. Just like the one I followed here. Interesting. It would be good to know more about what the agents of Vermina and Periite seek in my master's realm. Did anything out of the ordinary occur while you were conducting your search? I was afraid of that. Whatever you're involved in may be beyond my jurisdiction. I suspect the secrets you hope to uncover fall under the direct protection of Apocrapha itself. The Great Eye has put precautions in place to keep them hidden. It means you have been given an impossible task, and it may taint my otherwise spotless record. This is not good. Not good at all. Take whatever you learned and bring it to Larimel the Wise. Hopefully she can make sense of this conundrum.
I want to know what Scroot has been previously assigned, because it's quite possible that this is their... Well, no, maybe not their first. Maybe I'm their first project.
Of course not. Why would you? You're only mortal. You were selected to help Hermaeus Mora save Apocrypha and Nirn. To do that, you must uncover the very secrets the Great Eye's enemies pursue. Secrets that can unravel reality as we know it. Obviously, everything of Apocrypha is of Hermaeus Mora. Only through the Great Eye's will could the sacred tomes be destroyed. You were chosen, and then I was unlucky enough to become involved. For good or ill, our fates have become tangled.
It's kind of a weird place because nothing here feels magical. It feels evolved. Like, it feels like, this is just, like, of course you'd have to know a little bit of magic to find books in this mess. Of course there'd have to be spells on the books to keep them from rotting whenever they're just laying about everywhere. You know? But it's like, those things would have to be true for this place to exist. Dang. See what I mean? Books everywhere. Oh, must have missed something that Larimel was saying.
Friend, Larimel is waiting for you in her study.
The Midden stacks have been reluctant to yield the answers I had hoped for.
Apocrypha itself works against you. But the Great Eye's surrogate had some success.
Indeed. Show me, Proxy. Is it true? Were you able to successfully gather research on the relic, the rite, and the lost dream? Every time I thought I found something relevant, it crumbled or burned up before I could examine it. So you experienced something similar? As though the stacks were actively trying to keep the information hidden. Still, you managed to save some of the research. A reflection of your role as Fate's proxy, perhaps. Let me peruse these pages. This implies the relic was specifically created to reveal hidden secrets. Do these secrets pertain to the ancient cipher's report regarding the dream of a lost memory? And this last one? Could the enemy be seeking the infinite panopticon? Only one of Hermaeus Mora's most secure repositories of secret knowledge. It exists within a pocket realm of Apocrypha, but the entrance constantly shifts locations. Of course, they must be using the Fulcrum Obscura to reach the panopticon. You and Gadain must use the part of the relic you possess to do the same as the enemy. Locate the entrance to the panopticon. There are cairns throughout the realm. Sprinkle this dust of conjunction on 3 of them, Then let Gadain apply the relic. Applying the dust to the 3 cairns I marked on your map will form a matrix of magicka. Gadain shall use the relic on each. Then I can perform a ritual to locate the Panopticon's entrance. I shall also give Gadain a gift, something to protect him. A charm that will provide Gadain with some measure of safety as you travel through Apocrapha. Please keep him safe, Proxy. Even with the charm, he seems overly fragile. Each cairn should glow after the successful application of dust and relic.
I think Laramel's crushing on Gadain big time.
Research is often a series of trials and errors. But yes, this should work. In addition to its normal properties, the relic should also seek out its other half. After you activate the 3 cairns, return here. Then I shall complete the ritual. Gadain, take this charm. It shall mark you as my guest in Apocrapha and keep you safe.
That's most thoughtful, Laramel. Thank you.
The infinite panopticon is kept hidden for a good reason, Laramil.
Which is why we must locate it and protect it from the enemy.
This is the sort of quandary that makes my tentacles twitch.
There's one of the cairns. Sprinkle the dust while I focus the relic. I suppose I just need to hold the relic out like so. It almost feels alive in my hand. The cairn is glowing. We did it!
Very smart. Laramil's tapping into the realm's currents of fate to find the Panopticon. Fate arrived. We have fallen.
Closest to me, friend. Give me a moment to focus the Fulcrum Obscura.
You wish to engage in badinage?
It almost feels alive in my hand. The cairn is glowing. We did it.
He's a healer.
Collaborator? Mm-hmm. Yes, certainly.
Oh my god. Resto staff. Light armor. Missing a ring.
There's the final can. Dust applied. Now to use the relic. Oh my, it wriggled in my hand. All done. Let's return to Laramil's study and let her know she can proceed. The cans have been activated, Laramil.
Well done. Now, to complete the ritual. I feel the ebb and flow of Apocrypha. Some others trite.
Laramil, do be careful.
I told you. Apocrypha doesn't give up its secrets without a price.
Got it! Curate Gidane's concern is appreciated but unwarranted, Proxy. I have been sifting through Apocrypha's secrets long enough to know my limits. And the ritual performed just as I hoped it would. Still, the ritual directed me to the desolate northwest reaches of the Chroma Incognito. I sensed the entrance we seek there, as well as the other half of the Fulcrum Obscura. Our enemy must have also located the entrance, or is close to doing so. Let me mark the location on your map. Go quickly, Proxy. I shall follow and meet you there after I make sure Curate Gidane gets back to Nern safely. Go to the northwest region of the Chroma Incognito and see what you can find, Proxy. I shall catch up with you in due course. Scroot, please make sure Curate Gidane returns safely to Necrom. By all the tomes of Apocrypha, we found the entrance to the infinite panopticon. The ritual worked, Proxy. We located the entrance to the infinite panopticon. At least, until it moves again. Let us head inside and try to stop the hidden kindred from locating the secret they seek. I know not which of our enemies have entered the panopticon, but the ritual latched onto both the hidden entrance and the other half of the Fulcrum Obscura. They must have used the relic to find this place, not unlike how we did it. Legends say the panopticon is an endless labyrinth of rooms and passages, but
Sounds
nothing
annoying.
inside conforms to reality as we know it. It protects some of Hermaeus Mora's most precious secrets, and powerful guardians roam its lengths. Shall we proceed? Prepare yourself, Proxy. We should both be able to withstand a short visit to the panopticon, but that does not mean we can ignore the dangers. Steel your mind and harden your will. When you are ready, let us head inside. we have entered the infinite panopticon. But where are the catalogers?
That hunger is native to Apocrapha. See how it shifts between the layers of reality, attack while it's shifting, and its energy now steps into the focus to use my ghost sight. Use my ghost sight to strike. But without my ghost sight, you probably wouldn't have survived that.
Let's Meln the mouth. No, Meln the mouthless talking.
Careful,
Which is
Proxy.
funny if you think about it,
I
because
sense corruption in
he
the air.
technically is actually mouthless now.
This malignancy allows the corrupted guardians to phase between layers of reality. When we get close, use my ghost sight to find the source. Use my ghost sight. There's something nearby.
Hello.
We've destroyed one sensor of corruption, but I sensed more above us.
What did you do, Proxy? The corruption has lessened, but it persists.
Okay, I can do without the camera thing.
Hostilities ended. Now, to relax.
Okay, so I'm still going up. It's ugly, whatever that was.
One more sensor. Use my ghost sight.
Let fate renew your vigor.
Another sensor destroyed. Without my ghost sight, you'd never find them.
Well done. The corruption's hold weakens.
Okay, obviously it's above or below, but it's below. Okay. Okay, still below. Two for two. Nope. Hey. That was dumb luck, really. I would have gotten there eventually, though.
That was the last sensor. The corruption should clear on its own now.
Whatever you did, it worked. Whatever you just did, I sense the corruption fading away. Let us talk. Whatever you did, it worked. The corruption dissipates even as we speak. According to Blightcrown's notes, they are using the corruption as some sort of method to avoid detection. Is that how they plan to elude the gaze of the one who knows? I believe so. He has somehow combined the power of dream with the power of pestilence to shift between the layers of this reality. They are here, but not here. Effectively hidden from the all-seeing gaze of Hermaeus Mora. The power of the ritual we use to locate the Panopticon lingers. We can use it to focus on the portion of the Fulcrum Obscura that Torvasad and Blightcrown carry. We can follow its trail directly to them. I shall concentrate the residual power of my ritual into a final tracking spell. Follow where the energy leads.
Huh.
They carry Fulcrum Obscura through this door. Hermaeus Mora has set a guardian gaze to protect the way ahead. We must divert its attention to cross the chamber. Carry on through, reeking of disease. Is this how they just... Activating the room got the
The
Guardian...
Guardian's vision is similar to my
There must
ghost
be more.
sight. Nothing escapes its notice.
Look, another room. Find and activate the remaining room.
Activate all of the corrupted runes, and we should be able to sneak past the eye.
The Guardian appears rattled by those Periite runes.
See how the fulcrum vibrates? What we seek is here.
Another eye? It looks like all the others to me.
Have faith, diseased one. This eye contains the memory of the dream we seek.
Then let's get this over with. I can't hide us between the layers of reality much longer.
Ah, fate's mortals. I have no wish to harm you. Turn back and let us finish what we started.
They dare enter one of Hermaeus Mora's forbidden memories. We must follow them. Let me open a portal. There!
Proceed carefully. Between the energy here and Blightcrown's manipulation of reality, Laramil's portal could behave erratically. I knew it! We're not where Laramil intended, and now she's missing. Spellcasting should be left to Look above! I am more. Laramil's portal deposited us on the ceiling. Another portal? I knew it! Blightcrown's manipulation of the layers of reality caused Laramil's spell to splinter. Well, step on through, and hopefully we'll reach the layer we're looking for. Keep moving through the portals. Each portal gets us one step closer to the Eye of Mora. Maybe Laramil's a better spellcaster than I thought. Traversing different layers of reality is disconcerting. Quick, into that portal! If this one doesn't get us there, I'm going to start making things explode. Finally! The Eye of Mora on the walkway above us. We made it. The Eye of Mora. With or without her, you need to go in after Blightcrown and Tormentor. You're as transparent as I am. And look, there's Tormentor.
We're in a memory of Hermaeus Mora, mortal. Here, no harm may befall us. I suggest we use this opportunity to confer. When dealing with matters of fate, meetings such as this are inevitable. Know that I am Torvasard, and know that we need not be adversaries in these matters. I simply seek an ancient dream, barely remembered. Lost knowledge, nothing more. Is that what Hermaeus Mora and his high elf lackey told you? Can you imagine any revelation that possesses such power? No. This is about keeping secrets, hoarding knowledge, stealing memories. Hermaeus Mora, the great miser of oblivion. All I have is fragments of a dream. Even Vermina could not help me recall it. But we remembered enough to get us this far. Hermaeus Mora stole this knowledge from us. I do not wish to harm you, mortal, to harm anyone, but I will learn the truth. The pompous mortal riddled with disease. The memory rejected him. We entered together, but I stand here, alone, except for you. But worry not for Peryite's priest. Blightcrown has skills. It should be a simple matter for him to return to Nirn. I will continue my search. You, however, should turn back. Wandering the memories of a Daedric prince is dangerous for one such as I. For you, such a journey will most likely prove fatal. I would hate to see Fate's Chosen reach such an ignoble end. Heed my words, mortal.
If I learned anything as a Telvanni Magister, it's this. When a Dremora tells you to go right, you go left. Let's see what this memory contains. Dream Carvers. Prince Vermina's pet Dremora clan. Those are Vermina markings on the walls.
I won't let you do this, Fate Forger!
It is already done. You will forget this ever happened. Everyone will. It is the only way to preserve reality.
Damn you, Mora! Damn! No!
A spell to make all of reality forget. I can barely imagine. Come on. We need to find Torvasard.
Now you know of Hermaeus Mora's grand betrayal. Once I restore Vermina's statue, the process of restoring the memory will begin. I suggest you defend yourself, mortal.
The Prince of Dreams and Nightmares!
Destroy the heretic!
What was shattered has been restored.
Who dares enter this forbidden memory? No! What have you done? Flee where you can, transgressor. Your reckless actions threaten all of reality. This memory is changed. Chosen, speak with me. I erased all evidence of this moment, and of the events that led to the loathsome action I was forced to perform. But I could not strip it from my own memory. And now that misstep has borne bitter fruit. What did the Dremora tell you, Chosen? Torvasad spoke true. Forbidden knowledge and secrets are my prime concern. Much of what I hoard serves to protect all the realms of existence. This particular secret, however, must stay forgotten. Even this slight recollection threatens reality. Torvasad found a way to slip past the eyes that see all, into the memory he should have had no ability to access. And yet, here we are. He restored that which I destroyed. And now this recollection is no longer forgotten. The threads fray, but have not yet snapped. Torvasad and my enemies recall a fraction of the memory, but the most devastating secret remains locked away. Return to your allies. The situation can still be salvaged if you and Laramil work together. Use this portal and return to Laramil's study. We will talk again soon.
There you are. I was afraid you might have been lost in the void after my portal fractured. When the opportunity to enter a place of forbidden knowledge was snatched from me, the frustration was nearly overwhelming. Oh, well. Tell me what you saw inside the memory, Proxy. Ah, the event that began this cavalcade of fate. Of course, such drastic measures must have been taken for good reason. The one who knows keeps referring to the unraveling of reality if we fail in our efforts. What else did you experience? With that level of power, Torvasad is clearly more than your average Dremora. Much more. Does that mean the secret has been remembered? Have we failed? Shall reality begin unraveling all around us? Then only some of the lost memory has been restored. The most dangerous portion of the secret must still be hidden. Very well. If you plan to honor your contract and still want to help save Apocrapha and Nern, I shall assist you as best I can. I would have it no other way, Proxy. We followed Hermaeus Mora's enemies from one end of Apocrapha to the other, and we learned what they seek. You have done well, and the one who knows wants to reward your efforts. Take this. What you described. How could Torvasad change a memory of Hermaeus Mora? How could he alter what happened so long ago? Such a power should not exist. This sensation, bafflement. I do not care for it. Torvasad has allies as well. What you described.
Planning to improve your equipment while you're here? Smart.
Torvasad got the better. What you described. How could Torvasad change a memory of Hermaeus Mora? How could he alter what happened so long ago? Such a power should not exist. This sensation, bafflement, I do not care for it. Torvasad has allies as well. Master Shelreni, Vermina, and Periite. Blightcrown and the hidden kindred cultists. They seek to restore memories stolen from them by Hermaeus Mora. And from what you saw, Torvasad has started the restoration process. Yes, most puzzling. Torvasad's next step must involve the right Master Shelreni seeks to draw from Meln's Black Book. Return to Necrom and find Curate Gadain. See what Shelreni is up to. Meanwhile, I have other inquiries I wish to explore. Remember, as long as Shelreni possesses the Black Book, she can complete her rite. If they fully unlock this forgotten secret, multiple realms are doomed. I shall meet you at the bookshop in Necrom after I complete my investigations. This portal will return you to Necrom, Roxy.
Master Shelreni murdered me to avoid the scrutiny of the Assembly of Masters. What else might she do to further her?
The mortal returns. I thought I recognized that wrinkle in the fabric of fate.
I hoped Laramil would be with you. We have news. Scroot and I uncovered the most interesting news. The Assembly of Masters learned of Master Shelreni's recent activities and has called for a conclave. They plan to strip her of her rank and expel her from the house. It's complicated. The Assembly of Masters consists of just their mouths. The actual Masters rarely leave their towers, and never to meet with their rivals. A conclave, however, is a different story. The Masters themselves are compelled to attend. Don't you see? When they convene the Masters' conclave, Shelreni must be on hand to contest the charges. So, we know where we can find her and when. At Tel Hulan, the Tower Hall in Old Isra. As a curate, I think I can get us into the conclave by claiming official Necrom business. House Telvanni prefers to stay on our good side, so they rarely ask too many questions of the Keepers of the Dead.
Curate or not, he'll never get into the conclave bearing the mark of a Daedric prince. Not without my help. Underestimate Shelreni at your own peril. And do not think to just walk into a Telvanni stronghold reeking of Hermaeus Mora. Either Shelreni's Daedric allies or the Conclave's own protections will spot you the moment you step across the threshold. Of course. Wasn't I the greatest magister of my time? If not for my desire for solitude, I would have been the Archmagister. Unfortunately, my spectral body isn't good for anything these days. You'll need to serve as my hands for this to work. Return to Telrendis. Around my tower, you'll find the components necessary to assemble a passable cloak of omission. Look for dried hoaxwort, a lamia-scale shawl, and an illusion tincture of my own creation. I'll tell you more when we get there.
Wait, hold on. Headed to Old Isra.
Now, where did I bury those components? Curses and corporeal existence! I can see why most ancestors move on instead of haunting their descendants. My mortal memories are much harder to recall than I anticipated. I don't remember where to find those components. Not exactly. Of course not. I buried the components we need in separate caches on the tower grounds. I just can't remember exactly where I put them. No matter. With your assistance, I'm sure we can find the right spots. Use my ghost sight. It will reveal the hiding places. Remember, Telrendis is my place of power, despite Shalreni's attempts to make it her own. Here, I can easily use my magic through you, as long as you're willing. I placed sigils at the spots, but on a different layer of reality. Use my ghost sight, and you should be able to see them. The caches are buried beneath those locations. When you get close to a spot I recognize, I'll tell you to activate my sight. This looks familiar. Isn't Ghost Sight wonderful? You'll find a cache here. That's my illusion tincture. The other components are buried elsewhere. Distasteful. Use my ghost sight here. We can work with this. Head toward my tower, and let's find a workbench to assemble the spell. I remember this old workbench. We can prepare the Cloak of Omission here. Good work. Now place the shop. Place the components, one at a time. Almost done. Now sprinkle the tincture. Excellent. Now take the Cloak of Omission. Go ahead and try it on. You look amazing. Barely a hint of a data connection. I should explain the particulars, though. Not a bad bit of work. You follow directions well. And the cloak looks perfectly dashing. Dashing, I say. Now let's head to Old Isra and meet up with Kirat Gedain. She should have gotten you access to the Conclave by now. Did I? I don't recall. But if you're asking about the Cloak of Omission, it could only shield you from so many scrying attempts. Eventually, someone will notice you. But the enchantment should last long enough for us to get our hands on Shalreni. Did I? Now that you mention it, yes. Gedain can get you on the access list, but you must play your part. Dunmer laws are labyrinthine, Telvanni especially. You need to invoke the proper statue to avoid suspicion. Just say the following to the sentry at the door. I hereby invoke the 26th statute of the Necrom Agreement, and then demand entry to the Conclave. Can you remember that?
Yep.
Once we get inside, we can meet up with Kirat Gedain. What could Shalreni be thinking? She's obviously counting on the support of two Daedric princes. But does she really expect them to magically elevate her to the rank of Magister? Let's get to Tel Hulen in Old Isra and see if the cloak works.
Wait, hold on. Headed to Old Isra.
You there! You look like a cape.
Tel Hulin, the Tower of Halls, home to the Assembly of Masters. Remember to invoke the statute when you demand entry, and put on the cloak.
Know that, Drew? As Master Shalreni's mouth, you are prohibited from entering the Conclave.
But I must warn the masters.
Don't worry. Your treacherous master will be dealt with soon enough. The Master's Conclave is in session. All other business is on hold. Come back later. Necron, Let me see. Ah, yes. You're listed as Curate Godane's attending clerk. Very good. You may go inside. I expect you'll find the curate in the Assembly antechamber, as the attending Magister declared the Conclave for Masters only.
There's Curate Godane.
Really, I must...
I insist, Curate. You do realize I wield considerable influence as Master Norvora's mouth.
Of course, but...
I could do much for you and the Keepers. Now tell me, what do you think of my book?
That's Master Norvora's mouth. We need to extract Godane this instant.
The Curate and I are busy, Outsider. I am eager to hear what he thinks of my book, Ancestors of a Humble Mouth. It's a work in progress, but at least 2 booksellers have expressed interest. Come back later. How strange. As no one but Masters are allowed inside, Master Norvora explicitly told me to wait out here until after the Conclave concluded its business. Well, obviously Master Norvora needs her spellbook. No master should ever meet her peers without being totally prepared. I'll go and fetch it at once.
Thank you, my friend. Follow me. I know a place where we can talk privately. We can speak freely here. You arrived not a moment too soon, my friend. Before they decided to seal the hall, and I was trapped in that dreadful conversation with Mouth Elar, I found what we needed. Master Shalreni is here, and being held under guard until the Conclave begins. Ah, and now we come to the problem. Magister Gothran arrived from Sadrith Mora to oversee the Master's Conclave. He immediately expelled all but the Telvanni Masters and placed a ward on the door. There's no way to get into the Assembly Hall. Sadly, disabling a ward placed by a Magister is beyond my capabilities. If you have any ideas, please share them. Otherwise, I fear the Masters are on their own in there.
A Magister? To counter Magister magic, eh? Good idea. Let's go disable the ward. A ward needs anchors. Use my ghost them. One on either side of a door. I'll lend you my power to disable them. Magister Gothran is good, but I'm better. Let's enter the Assembly Hall.
This is a closed session. What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Now, Gothrin, surely such restrictions don't apply to a Magister and his proxy.
Meln the Mouthless, a spirit. No matter. I will not tolerate your antics.
Nothing in our statutes precludes a dead Magister from participating in a conclave. Now, hear what my proxy has to say.
Very well. Step forward. You stand on shaky ground, mouth for the mouthless. What's so important that Magister Meln dares interrupt this closed session of the Master's Conclave? And Magister Meln thought us so ineffective that he had to swoop in and save the day? How presumptuous of him. Do you really think one rogue master is a match for this assembly? So I heard. Hence the reason I decided to leave my comfortable tower and come all this way to personally take charge of this conclave. The masters will hear the charges, question the subject, and render swift judgment. Is that why you're here? To add another charge to Shelreni's list of crimes? Then so noted. Perhaps that's why she turned herself over without any fuss or bother, so that she can plead for mercy. Perhaps I'll be lenient. Perhaps not. Enough of this nonsense. I listened to the concerns of your Magister and heard his allegation. Now we are finished. Meln may stay if he wishes. That is his right. But you and the curate should go and leave us to our work.
Over here.
I don't understand this necessity for debate. If it were up to me, we'd get right to the vote. Nothing anyone has to say will change my mind about Shelreni. Now then, is Magister Meln really dead? Meln may have confused Magister Gothrin, but there's no provision for a dead Telvanni participating in a conclave. It's just not done. Is that a threat? Master Morena led Shelreni through the East Door for making similar pronouncements only a few moments ago. If that can happen to a master, imagine what's in store for a lowly mouth like you.
I forgot how boring my so-called peers can be. Pity Shelreni didn't eliminate a few more of my rivals before we noticed. But your master, Meln. I have fond memories of his many antics. That's why I wanted a word with you. Your master has delayed these proceedings long enough. Master Shelreni reached above her station and must be dealt with. Anything that postpones that and increases the time I must spend in the company of my so-called peers will not be tolerated. Murder, you say? That is serious. I suppose anything can be expected from a master who makes pacts with Daedra. We really need to strip her of her rank and exile her. Well, if you must see her, she's being held in a meeting room down the East Hall.
There's a meeting room just to the right. This must be where they're holding her.
Shelreni's gone, but what's that tipped over bottle? That's pure essence of dream. Let me cast a spell to see what happened here.
What was that? Just a little gift from the Prince of Dreams. Soon, you will do exactly as I say.
You won't get away with this.
I already have. And with your help, I'll get away with so much more. Now let's go attend the conclave. My ascension requires participants, willing or otherwise.
We must get to the conclave. It's held in the Master's private hall to the north.
Something's going on to the north. I think the conclave is starting.
Master Shelreni, you stand accused of conspiring against your fellow Telvanni, murdering Meln the Mouthless, and consorting with Daedric princes. How do you plead?
A Telvanni doesn't plead. But I will kill you all before I take my sacrifice and depart.
Help me, Magister!
Shelreni, cease your actions this instant.
Use my ghost sight to disable the wards and get down there.
You again? If these fools can't stop me, what hope do you have?
Come on, get up! I'm not ready to die a second time.
You're finally awake. Thank the ancestors. I thought Shelreni killed you.
We should talk, Mouth of Meln. The Mouth of the Mouthless. I suppose you want me to say that you and Meln were right. That I should have taken Shelreni's threat more seriously. Well, let's pretend I said that and move on to what needs to happen next. Yes, quite a display. She used the Conclave to formally announce her intentions. Her spell would have killed everyone, and positioned her to challenge the Archmagister for rulership of the house. Luckily, I was on hand to save the local masters. Shelreni may be a powerful master, but I am a Magister of the Telvanni Council. It was a simple matter to deflect her attack while the Conclave dispersed. Then, I stabilized the portal she fled through, assuming you would want to follow her. Really now, who do you think Meln consulted when he first invented his Cloak of Omission? I see the mark of Mora upon you. House Telvanni wants no part in the machinations of Daedric princes. Just make sure to kill Shelreni when you find her. Master Morena revealed her inadequacies when she allowed herself to be captured. The other masters survived. In both cases, House Telvanni won. If you plan to chase Shelreni, I suggest you leave now. I'm not going to hold that portal open forever.
This ancient ruin. Those markings. This place is dedicated to Vermina.
I think we visited the memory of it in the Eye of Mora.
This chamber appears promising. We should look around.
Ah, scholarship. I can smell it from here.
Anything relevant in those papers? Was there anything in those papers about Master Shelreni or where we might find her? She writes about how Torvasard came to her, indoctrinated her into Vermina's service, how he was consumed with restoring something that was either stolen or lost, and how he insisted they find this ancient shrine. Interesting. So they sent the malachite mined from the Alavelis quarry here, and she discusses how the hidden kindred were formed to provide the workers needed to accomplish the restoration. Somehow, rebuilding of Ermina's statue is the key to Torvasad's goal. This must be where that original memory took place. Where Vermina and Periite think Hermaeus Mora wronged them and stole whatever it is they now seek. Let's keep going. That restored statue and Master Shelreni must be somewhere in this old ruin.
We must find Shelreni and stop her from completing this rite.
There's Shelreni and Master Morena. We need to free her.
My black book! Looks like Shelreni got past my safeguards.
Genius, Torvasad. Using the restored memory to open a path to Apocrapha. All we need now is for Shelreni to finish the rite and perform the sacrifice.
Shelreni's using the restored statue as a focus for her rite.
Away, agents of fate! This vessel will help me restore what was taken from us all! Now! Now, my disciple. Complete the sacrifice so I may inhabit the vessel.
And defeat this enemy.
Now, friend, free Morena from the binding.
This magic is unstable! Save yourself! No! Not when we're so close!
Close my black book and take it. That should end the rite.
Taking the black book won't stop us, and one of you will serve just as well as a sacrifice.
No need to involve outsiders, Shelreni. Prince Ermina accepts your sacrifice and deems you a worthy vassal.
I regret the bloodshed, but soon Mor's injustice will be undone.
With this vessel, I can enter Apocrapha and strike at Mora's heart. With me, my faithful!
We have to warn Apocrypha. Let's return to the Necron Bindery and find Laramil.
Hold still, and I'll open a portal back to Necron.
Neither Scroot nor I can feel Hermaeus Mora's presence. We both find this unsettling. Good, you are here. Both Scroot and I felt a sudden disturbance in the tides of fate. Something terrible has happened in Apocrypha, and Scroot and I no longer feel the presence of the one who knows. Another significant event in the annals of fate, and I missed it. But Master Shelreni is dead, and Vermina did what? Start from the beginning, Proxy. What happened at the Master's Conclave? So that was Shelreni's plan. Use whatever power the princess provided to eliminate her rivals and move up in rank. I am glad she failed. But what happened after that? And Blightcrown decided to complete the rite anyway by sacrificing Shelreni instead. Ruthless, but in keeping with a follower of Periite. And you say this allowed Vermina to possess Shelreni's corpse. What happened next, Proxy? They cannot. Not usually. Hence all the trouble that Torvasad and his allies went through to reach this point. At least you saved the Telvanni Masters and recovered Meln's Black Book. Well done. While I ponder next steps, take this. You earned it. Both Scroot and I felt the tides of fate churn and boil. Worse, Neither of us has been able to commune with Hermaeus Mora since the Black Book's rite was completed at Vermina's shrine. And you say you saw Shalreni's body walk into Apocrapha, giving Vermina access to Apocrapha and a host to work through. They must know where to find the memory they seek, or they have a good idea where to look. Apocrapha is infinite. Without fate to guide us, we are lost in the dark without a candle. Blightcrown and Torvasard have ways to avoid detection. Only one viable option presents itself. We must ask Master Shalreni where Vermina has taken her body. Will you see this through, Proxy, before the disaster Mora foresaw comes to pass? Fortunately, we have 2 conduits to spirits not yet bound for Aetherius at our disposal. Magister Meln and Curate Gadain. Speak to Meln first. He obviously knows what happens when a Telvanni mage dies.
Laramil's idea is a good one. Master Shalreni has the answer we seek, and I know how to reach her.
Okay. Backdoor dealings in Necrom, which is at the north part of the Telvanni Peninsula. Okay. Looks like there's going to be another part because I'm about to call it a day, but I do kind of want to go through my outfit a little bit before I officially call it. Alright, cool. Well, that's where I'm going to end this stream. But there'll be another part. Gotta finish Apocrypha.